Got a code switch.
Pretty much.
All right, everyone, no cursing for like 5 minutes.
Some of these icons are wrong, Connor.
Oh, so they are.
We got your soda. We got
Tara Wind Fury.
We got Caxian.
Oh my god. I'm missing it. No.
I'm pretty sure I've been to sick once or twice.
Can't believe our stream.
It's okay, there's a delay.
That's
I'll
right.
still get to see
Session
it.
2, already the Devil's in the Eve of Ruin crossover.
Oh man. Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Hang on.
I have no idea where your icon is, Saris.
I can't believe the stream has been rated by Zachary from Off.
Hang on, I'm just gonna.
Oh my god.
I don't know what that is. There we go. That's accurate. There we go.
And there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Someone said "fuck." Yeah, it was me.
No, we're not even 2 minutes in.
We're past the 10
We're
minute mark.
11 minutes in. We're good. That's what the 10-minute like startup is, so people can come in here and
literally every single time people talk about it on the Unexpectables, our channel never gets dinged. Never ever.
Ah, fair enough. You know what? I'm trying to be a good boy.
That is fair. But also YouTube can suck it. This one's out for the Devils and Dice Rolls Patreons. That's right.
Oh, hell yeah!
You're the ones that are keeping this shit afloat, so we don't have to appease the man to bring you entertainment.
Thank you, patrons.
It's true. But welcome to another exciting episode of Kazador's Guide to the Cosmos. Brought to you in part by our wonderful players and our amazing GM here. Let's get some introductions out of the way before we hop into it proper. Starting with TheropodArt.
That's me. Hi, hello. It's your boy, TheropodArt. Y'all know where to find me. Blue Sky, Tumblr for Affinity, all TheropodArt. Lizard Fun Bags if you want to see the naughty stuff. I also stream over on Twitch. I've been doing some art lately. I might pick up a game to keep the subathon going. Other than that, commissions are open. I will draw almost anything you want for the right amount of cash. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. And other than that, I am on this channel on Tuesdays as Tara, and something's happening on Wednesday, but I don't know if I can talk about it, so I'll leave it at that.
There's something happening there.
Something
in the wind.
What it is, I don't actually know.
If you watch Unexpectables, maybe tune in on Wednesday. I will say no more. But that's it. That's me.
TheropodArt, the new Unexpectables GM, taking over.
Oh no! Fuck that! That is too much pressure. Holy shit! No.
Muddy just gives you all her notes.
Here you go. I'm on vacation. Huh?
I'm leaving forever.
The notes just say you know it's here.
Oh fuck! No, I don't know.
Monty, I'm going out for milk.
And then the party finds the outsider and Lynn fucking each other. And hi, Gaijin.
Oh, hi, Gaijin. I think you were raiding the party of 48. How's it going?
Hello, everyone.
We're getting ready to
what
kick
a
off
time to raid. Hi, hello.
Amazing time.
Welcome.
This is your first time tuning in. This is actually a really good time to tune in because this is kicking off the adventure proper. First couple episodes were a lot of introductions, and this is party together, starting things off. So I'm very excited to get into it.
Oh yeah, if you're interested in watching a brand new baby D&D campaign unfold, then stick around. But up next to introduce themselves is XanillisGrimm.
Hey yo, that's me, Zan. You can catch me over on my Twitch channel, over at twitch.tv/XanillisGrimm. On Mondays around 7 p.m. PST for some more Stalwart Souls. Then Tuesdays we're right back here at twitch.tv/DistortionDevil at around 1 p.m. PST for some more Vecna Eve of Ruin. Then on Thursday, twitch.tv/MontyGlue at 7 p.m. PST for some more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Then back here, same bad channel, same bad place, 3:30 p.m. PST for some more Kazador's Guide. And then Saturday, twitch.tv/unexpectables at 6 p.m. PST for some Gateway. And then lastly, but certainly not least, this Sunday, twitch.tv/burnoutvaughn at around 2 p.m. PST for some more Those Who Wander. I'm in a lot of TTRPGs. If you want that content, or you want to know what I'm doing, occasionally play some other video games, you can go over to my Blue Sky at XanillisGrimm, where I post everything that I'm doing constantly all the time. And that's me. Also, if you're new here and you want something lewd, there might be a hand-holding segment today.
Just gonna get the channel taken down. But yes. And up next we have Tixdixl. Where can we find you? What are you up to?
You can find me all over the internet at Tixdixl. We're working on some artwork. I've got a couple of illustrations working down the pipeline, keeping myself sane while work runs me ragged. But some fun stuff to keep your eyes out for, including something that might be related to this campaign. In the meantime, you can find me this Sunday alongside XanillisGrimm and the amazing Thalia in Those Who Wander, where we will be returning to the lands of Carticus. If you like some horror, like some Domains Dread, but want something a little different than Curse of Strahd, come join us. Things are happening. Things are definitely starting to unravel in real time. And then, of course, on Monday, we're back for another Scrunkly Cat afternoon over on twitch.tv/SkeletAlpha. We will be potentially finishing the off fan game A New Home. Potentially. All of us are going in blind. We recognize that we are ramping up towards the end, but we aren't actually sure if we're ending this time, this week, or if it'll be like next week. We don't know. We're playing this by ear. Other than that, yeah, I believe the next thing after that is just right back here where we started. So that's me.
All right. And we couldn't do this without our wonderful DM, Amusing Thalia.
Hello, I am Amusing Thalia at Twitch and Blue Sky. I do a lot of like stuff in the background. You can technically hire me for like art and animation, really just like animatics and that kind of thing. But like I don't really get commissions for that. Most of my stuff is like editing and in the background. But I also stream. I stream on Mondays. I do a cool little like rotating TTRPG stream with some friends of the channel. Primarily my co-hosts Aquasylph and Ink Ray, but also with some guests of the channel, Burnout Vaughn recently, as we checked out a cool little D6 game on Steam that's very TTRPG inspired. On Tuesday, I do a difficult game, Helldivers, Night Rain, Hades, something like that. And usually you can find me bothering one of the other people in this game. Like I will be invading their stream in some capacity, either helldiving with Zan or commenting over like backseat gaming for Connor, and that sort of business. But I'm also in the TTRPG game that Saris runs on Sundays. And that is a joy to be in every other Sunday, at least for now, as my character has met up with the party. So if you want to see who I'm playing and what I'm doing there, go check that out. I think that's it for me. I don't think I'm doing anything else. I'm here.
Heck yeah.
You did it.
You did it.
Yes.
Also, Connor, so I've been dating this trans guy so that like he and I can like pretend to be a cis couple for the wrong beard. You know more about the other kind of beard. Can you talk about some sorcery to work with that?
I sure can. If you want to keep your facial whiskers groomed and hydrated, then head over to Beard Sorcery. Use code DistortionDevil to save 10% when you shop. That code is once per customer, so be sure to stock up on your balms and your oils and your brushes and your shampoos and your conditioners. As well, Bones Coffee Company is also an affiliate of this stream. If you want some delicious coffee that I've been tearing through, I've got all three of the Fallout tie-in flavors, the Fallout TV show tie-in flavors, and I gotta say, Atomic Apple might be my favorite of the bunch. It's really good. It almost tastes like apple pie, almost, which makes it lore accurate because it's not real. But yes, Bones Coffee, the fantastic stuff. Highly recommend it. I drink it myself. Use code DistortionDevil and you can save 10% on your order at bonescoffeecompany.com. And as always, we couldn't do this without our wonderful viewers and their bits and subs, including Confan. Thank you for the year of subbing. Gaijin Goomba with a rated party of 48. And Like Tabuya with the 100 bits. I just got my first order of Bones Coffee. I got Dragon's Lair and French Toast. Ooh. Let me know how those are. And without further ado, Leah, take us away.
Well, to recap for those of you who mayhaps were not here, but also to set the scene for our heroes currently. They have ventured into the stars. years, their path taking them into a realm of many names. Cosmic seas, the astral sea. But what it is the plane between planes. And drifting in this ocean of both everything and nothing, our two groups of firm friends and companions met, and rather than clashing blades, chose to aid each other. And with a swift and decisive battle, defeated what seemed to be a, albeit somewhat hasty and unsuccessful, what was, or what seemed to be, an assassination attempt towards who in your group. It remains truly to be seen who. But with Xoruk, our Githzerai warrior, suspecting it has something to do with him, together with his compatriot Vex, the Tiefling, Paladin, and wielder of magics. They met our old friends Hakka Banemaw, the Sorcerer Cleric, and Kazador Rain, the Hobgoblin, though a bit more now, Sorcerer, and coming to some sort of agreement, fighting alongside each other. Their ships that they have been operating in the astral sea, docking to each other. Our heroes and our scene is set. They meet aboard the how have we named it to be exact? The hangar section of their nautiloid. And as the scene, or the kind of faintly glowing ambient light around you illuminates the back of the tardigrade vessel that currently has settled within this chamber, all of you look across each other as you have now fought alongside each other. And for now, you have a moment of reprieve and rest. And I leave it up to you to decide your fates.
Xoruk is going to very quickly, best he can, check in on Vex.
At current, I have to ask, since our last session, have I left the deck of the ship?
Yes, I believe we kind of sort of hand waved it a little bit at the end of last session just to get a good sort of climactic finish. But I believe what we were kind of what was implied is because the tardigrade had kind of docked on the ship somewhere else, you and Marine kind of made your way through, met back up, and you got back aboard the tardigrade and have since docked with the ship now.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, I mean, as far as Vex is physically concerned, Xoruk, you're able to easily see that again, largely uninjured, probably still covered in viscera. At this point, would you, for my sake, would you say 10 minutes has passed?
Yes, I will say 10 minutes has passed.
Okay, then we are just in our normal state of being then. No magics or anything of the sort. No weird weird necrotic shrouds or anything. Just normal Vex, and As you approach, Vex will offer.
I think
Xoruk a wave.
Marine would have seen it, but Marine wouldn't comment on it in any way.
Okay. Fair enough.
Marine being the Gith of some kind, though it is unclear exactly, pilot, which piloted the tardigrade alongside Vex and Xoruk. Current location. For those of you who... for just a quick reminder for anyone who does not exactly remember.
Xoruk will approach Vex and kind of offer a dagger check. And as he does, he's going to check Vex to make sure that Vex's mind is not altered by anything. Just the cursory telepathic search.
Yep. I would just say, is there a specific mechanic, or is this like more of a practice thing between the two of you?
More of a practice thing, because Xoruk
sense.
knows that, your mind could be changed on a
Yeah, you two
novel
probably have like a certain set of like mental checks with each other telepathically. That makes sense. In which case, it's not a roll of any kind. It's the two. It's something. As long as Vex, you say I do this as well. It's something the two of you can do.
Which, yeah, I mean, at this point, I see no reason why Vex would decline such a gesture.
Kind of realizing Vex is not altered or changed in any way, doesn't have a tadpole swimming around or anything, he will give Vex a nod before moving to a decently lit corner of the room and begin his meditation.
At this point, just for additional clarification, are Kazador and Hakka on the other ship?
The tardigrade has like landed aboard the hangar of the Nautiloid, and so narratively, you guys have kind of like exited the Nautiloid and are all kind of in the hangar, meeting back up with each other. That's like because Xoruk was on the Nautiloid, so that's how you two have kind of met up.
Right. Just want to clarify.
I just if you can't see on the map, I thought I pulled y'all two here. Nope, I did not. I pulled myself, but no two. There you go. Visuals.
Aha!
I see. Okay. If that's the case,
but I am also just trying to describe it for anyone who is just listening. It is kind of big, open, empty pretty much right now, hangar type room. It has the kind of lifts, which are the sphinctered sort of openings at the top and bottom of the floor and ceiling that have a sort of like levitation pull to them. And other than that, the tardigrade, it kind of like as it settles in, the legs kind of like move out to the side as it takes a sort of like landing position instead of drifting beneath it, as it has kind of settled in. And Marine is like moving around it and is like making some checks and doing that kind of work.
Instead of meditating, if that's the case, after checking in on Vex, Xoruk will look towards Kazador as well as Hakka. All right, now that the ambush is handled, what would you have us do next?
Xoruk mentions to them that they felt that they were the one being targeted.
Xoruk had mentioned that last time that he suspects that a Githyanki admiral sent you to kill myself as well, or Xoruk and Vex, or be killed by us. So kind of pitting two enemies against each other, or potential threats against each other. But that our only lead was probably in Sigil.
And then we got Marine was the one who said that. Who's currently kind of doing at least the lead was like she said she potentially has a lead, but she's gonna kind of make her way back towards the group.
And then when clearly we didn't turn on each other, we got ambushed instead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are a few paths we could go down. I have a few contacts in Sigil I could find.
Oh, you as well. Cool. Well, that kind of narrows down probably where we're going. We have a few options, but Sigil is one of them. Depends. What kind of planar drive you have on this ship?
I would know. Yes.
You would have a chance to know because you've been studying it. But like, what do you call it? Spelljammer, like, Spelljammer construction and operation is still relatively new to you. I'd allow you to either roll an Arcana or your piloting check.
I will probably roll that Arcana. Yes. Let's roll an Arcana check. It's a 14.
14. You know that you know what a planar jump drive is. You don't know, like, I think you weren't quite aware that there were, like, different kinds. Like, you knew that there were, like, different constructions of them, but that you assumed they functioned all kind of similar. But you do know where it is and what it is. It is the thing that you set coordinates into that allowed you to basically plane shift out of Chul when you all were in danger.
I can show you.
She kind of nods, like not in like a hi, you didn't know, like a all right, yeah, cool, like you know what you're doing. It's
yeah,
just, like,
he's hiding the fact that he doesn't actually know by saying, "Let me just show you." He's still got that Hobgoblin saving face sort of mentality.
Yeah. But it's this thing over here, or over here.
There's
as
this
the
thing
two of
over
them make...
here, or over
Yeah.
here.
Oh yes, I see. But we'll kind of make their way in as the two of them kind of leave and descend down the chamber. Is there anything Hakka, Vex, or Xoruk want to do, or are they following?
I feel like Hakka would actually ask the two of them a question, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. That's what I'm giving you the room for.
Yeah. You'll have to forgive me. I'm rather a worldly being. What manner of place is this Sigil?
Xoruk will look towards Vex like, do you want to handle this one or you want me to?
Vex sort of has this look on their face of like consideration, in that sense of thinking about what the best way to put it is, and then doing kind of a bit of the like very focused look for a second before looking back to you, Xoruk, and sort of giving you the go-ahead nod.
Xoruk will kind of clean himself off for a moment.
Sigil. Locals call it the cage. It's a place between places. A city of doors. It's mainly made to make sure that, well, someone holds the keys to all the planes, the material worlds. So, in a manner of speaking, this is some sort of crossroads. Sort of. But rather than having a free access to go whichever way you choose, each of these roads, as you say, are locked. People of all sorts get stuck there. Others choose to stay there. But if you're looking for information on someone, it's a damn good place to start.
consider my curiosity piqued.
I would say, if you've never been there before, make sure you keep your mind your own. And if threatened, don't back down, but don't cause violence either.
Are the gods of the city strict?
It depends on where you are, but they can be. The best times in Sigil are the ones where you are not noticed.
In that case, I will keep my head down.
That might be wise. If you'll excuse me, Vex, Hakka. And Xoruk will move over to kind of this wall and start his meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I look to Vex. Want to play some chess? And you see Hakka pull out a chess set.
You see, in a very genuine sense, the person before you light up like a light bulb, as there's like a smirk for a second before Vex then reaches into their own pocket and pulls out a knight piece. It is black. It looks to be made of some type of onyx stone, relatively intricate. Sort of smiles, flips it in their fingers a bit before sticking it back in their pocket. I'd love nothing more than an opportunity to play against someone else for once.
It's a fun time waster, and Hakka would find a table or something to rest.
So I know
with.
Hakka has proficiency in this.
Yes.
Do you have proficiency in any sort of game that you feel would be equivocal to chess, or are you just going off pure instinct?
Who, me?
Yeah, for Vex.
I have proficiency in chess as a part of my background.
Oh,
Hell
let's go!
yeah. All right, let's go. You
didn't
actually
know that.
see that.
Oh my-
So does like you as you're playing. Hakka doesn't have an initial strategy that you were probably. Are you formally trained or are you practiced?
So, as a part of my background, I'm formally trained. I have that proficiency, and I also have my own set.
Perfect. So, you, as someone who's formally trained, the first couple moves from Hakka are amateurish in the sense that there's no specific strategy. But the moment that you set up a strategy, you notice Hakka react as if they've played the game a lot. And it's not, you're like, oh, okay, this is not gonna be easy. So yeah, roll chess.
Ooh, beat a 22.
Give me just a second to pull it up.
It's that
It's
fucking
called.
the Dark Souls music when the chess expert comes in.
Anatoly Zone. That is honestly one of my favorite videos of all time. I think about it a lot.
At the end, when the kid starts crying, I just feel sad.
Oof!
And so that is exactly what happens where you're like, oh, you're like, oh, okay, and you go to finish it early, and you realize like too late that Hakka pulled you into a trap the moment you set up a strategy and checkmates you. Like just really like, and you're like, oh, as it really catches you off guard.
And it's a pleasant for the record. Like,
Yeah.
Vex looks delighted.
Best 2 out of 3.
Certainly.
And we'll
Hakka,
keep playing to pass the time while Kazador.
but as you two are playing, this is a pretty quiet room up here. There's Xoruk meditating. Nautiloids are one of the quieter, like, spelljammers, as there isn't a lot of ambient movement, especially inside the, like, upper shell areas. There's just the occasional kind of groan a little bit of, like, the shell, that kind of lets out a sort of noise. But roll me a perception check. Your passive perception is high enough to kind of get away or to alert you to this check potentially.
23.
23.
Would you like that from me as well?
What is your passive perception?
It's not high.
Yeah, no, this is because I know Hakka's passive perception is very good.
It's 25.
It's something that someone with a passive perception, a very high passive perception would pick up on.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't then.
Yeah. I know I thought I wrote down all of your passives at some point. Did I do
12.
passives with y'all?
My passive perception is 12. It's not very good.
After this session, I'm gonna do passives with y'all. Because I thought I did, but I would have it written down, and I don't.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Okay. But that won't be too bad right now. I do know this one. With a 23, it, as far as you were aware, is just the three of you in here. However, and you know Marine and Kazador went downstairs, or at least down to one of the lower chambers, as there are no stairs exactly. Well, there are outside. But you hear what sounds like a dull sort of thud come from the inside of the tardigrade ship. And you almost kind of hear the thrum of something mechanical, like start up and then die back down. It's like faint and really muffled through like how big the ship is, but you do hear it.
Well, what is it?
Do you have any other crewmates besides Marine and Xoruk?
As far as I'm aware, no. I don't like the implication of your question.
Marine has been very hand-wavy about the engineer side of the job, and also has instructed you not to go into the back area.
Unless there's a really big rat on your ship, you might have a stowaway.
Alright.
I can back you up. We can let is he sleeping?
No, he's meditating. He spends a lot of his time making sure that his mind is clear.
He hasn't moved an inch. Is he
He's
breathing?
very good at sitting still. It's one of his favorite pastimes.
Hakka squints.
Oh, he's breathing. Okay. Let him be.
No, I guess Hakka would begin to like weapons are not out, but definitely like hand on the handle, like trying to find the entrance of this tardigrade.
I
Yeah. You know your way in. Currently, one of the easiest ways in when it's like parked on a land area, there's that platform below it that has the like platform that raises and lowers and like lifts you, like the like little mini elevator that lifts you into the ship. So it is this hatch right here that you recognize.
Yeah. So we both come up through there.
And as you two come up, I'm gonna cut there to the other group really quickly.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
As Marine is kind of like is beginning to talk to Kazador in a bit extra detail about the situation. Kazador, you've previously described a relative interest in like learning more about it, right?
Yeah, he wants to know how this thing functions.
All right. I don't know if I want to do quite too hard. Just messing with some audio real quick.
Okay.
It's okay. Take your time.
Thank you. But she's kind of looking over this one, and she pulls up a few different screens. You recognize them as different sort of like planar structures of the like outer plane. And it's kind of almost like she's like cycling through different settings on it, like to kind of see what this thing can do. And after a certain point, she has these sort of like astral maps zoom in on a specific location, and roll me a Knowledge Arcana check to kind of follow along, see if you can see exactly what she's doing as she's doing.
Let's take a look.
And this is like before she starts like info dumping. She's kind of like mumbling to herself. Let's see. All right.
That's a 26.
And yeah, that like the first part, exactly what she's doing. She's like cycling through a bunch of different like planar models are what they're called. Before settling on one that's like somewhat unfamiliar to you, though it has a lot of elements of things that you've seen before. And it's the map I put y'all on. But she zooms in on like an extremely specific spot, and as she zooms in, you see it zooms past. Y'all are deep in outer planar space, like deep in the astral sea. She zooms past several different planes that are kind of nearby. But you notice, and as she does as well, that you are kind of in a place that's kind of far from a lot of different things. And she doesn't like frown, but she does sort of like nod as if she was like sort of expecting this. Well, I have good news and I have bad news.
What's the bad news?
Well, this is pretty simple. You have a standard PJD or planar jump drive. What it does is basically what it says on the tin. It has several main functions, but its primary functions are it can operate once and then it needs to recharge, and it has, let's say, parameters for using it. If we just try to jump willy-nilly, if we just try to shift to just anywhere, we could end up anywhere. And I mean like in the middle of a volcano, or in the middle of rock or something. So we have to be very careful about how we operate. How you all got here is beyond me. You must have had very specific coordinates loaded up.
We did. He thinks back to the person that probably set the coordinates to begin with, not being himself.
Yep. And she's like, well, so that's called fixed point. That's not fixed point. That's called temporary coordinates. Generally usable once and usable mostly for places in wild space, in the Astral Sea, in the Phlogiston, in places that are temporal or shift or change. Fairly unstable, very useful though if you have one, but they only last a certain amount of time before they have to be updated. Knowing them is hard to know. You have to have a lot of very specific knowledge or equipment, which this ship does not have, unfortunately. So jumping to random coordinates, not exactly. Fixed points are easy. I don't know any. Those are closely guarded secrets. Those will get you to specific places in specific planes, or specific locations in the multiverse. They are very rare, but they are very closely guarded secrets. I know she kind of like frowns. I know a couple. Oh, well, that is an option. We'll get there. That's maybe some minor news. I know, but those are fixed points. Then there's planar focuses. If you have a focus to a specific plane, you can't usually control kind of how it works, but you'll just like go to the plane. Generally, you have to, hook it up or allow it to work its magic or whatever on the ship. You have to. She kind of gestures at a like section where you would like place something. There's like almost like a mouth on the bottom of it that you would like set something in. She's like, you put it there. If you had like a focus, you don't happen to have a planar focus to another plane, do you?
Kazador actually pulls out the pocket watch he's had since the beginning, since Icewind Dale.
Mm-hmm.
This pocket watch that is infused with the power of the Plane of Order. I do have this, although as far as planar focuses go, I'm not sure this will do, but this is a pocket watch charged with power from Mechanus.
Ooh, that is very useful. You see her look up, like, roll an insight check, actually.
I will do this. 10.
She looks at it, not sure if this will work.
He just nods and stuffs it back into his coat.
Yeah, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't try it. I'm going to. I roll for her. Yep. No, yeah. That's to where I think it is, right? Mechanicus. Oh yeah, you call it Mechanus. Cool. Goes by a lot of names depending on language. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Maybe until you have registered yourself with someone on Mechanus with this ship, we don't jump there, because they will probably shoot us on sight.
I see. Very well.
There are a lot of things we can do to a hijacked nautiloid is a rare but very, very powerful thing that you have here. There are a few things we can do to protect it from that sort of action happening, but not really out here. So
you mentioned
here.
Knew a few of these fixed point coordinates. Would any of these coordinates be useful for us in this current predicament?
Yes. So this is where I was going to get to your current options. We are close to... This thing can do one more thing. She pats the outside of it. This thing can navigate planar streams, and that is a beauty. Also known as the phlogiston, it means we can sail through specific pathways through the astral sea. And we can ride them to specific planes. Good news, that's the good news. Bad news, the closest phlogiston leads to the 9 hells.
I see. Kazador gets a very long, lost look in his eyes.
We aren't too far from Sigil, but we would have to sail straight there through empty space, and not wild space, so like it's not the most dangerous, but we don't know like what would be there, so we'd be risking the journey. That's option 2. 1, 9 hells. 2, that. Option 3. There is a fixed point I'd be willing to share, mostly because I know Xoruk has been there before. Have you ever heard of the Nosis cluster? And I think that is going to be a good cut to upstairs into the into the tardigrade. But I'm going to have you roll an Arcana check for when we get back.
Oh boy.
The two of you have the kind of like empty. I gotta change music for this. This is we're gonna.
Vex, we're getting a distress call from a ship called the USG Ishimura. We should go check it out.
God damn it.
Actually not.
But no, there's the kind of like empty rooms around you. Hakka, have you been aboard the tardigrade yet?
No.
The moment you kind of arrive, a automated voice kind of comes over the system, and you would hear, "Hello, this is the Tardigrade Operations Manager, also known as Tom. How can I assist you? Registering creature. Friend or foe?"
This is Hakka Banemaw. He's a friend of ours.
Friend, registered. And you hear the powering down of something.
Oh, what in the nine hells is this?
This is... I feel like ship is the wrong word. However, this is our tardigrade. And, speaking of, hey Tom.
Hello, Vex.
I have a question for you. I hope you can answer it. We heard a loud thumping. Would you be able to tell me how many registered, shall we say, bodies are on board, live, breathing signals?
Breathing bodies. Clarification. Meaning creatures with the ability to respirate.
Yes, and are actively doing so.
Current count, 2.
Okay. How many bodies, including those who can't do that?
Clarification. Body.
There's a pause. There's a pause where they're clearly trying very hard to think of how to clarify body.
Hakka's like head is on a swivel and he's just kind of looking around, seeing if
It's coming from everywhere, this sound.
Yeah.
A organism capable of sentient thought.
Creatures with the ability to sapiently speak and or communicate with others. With cognitive thought, correct?
Sure, yeah.
Current count, 3.
Oh, good. Thank you, Tom.
Was Tom including themselves in that?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware,
Tom?
is not sentient.
Affirmative. Hakka, Banemaw.
That's gonna take some getting used to. Where is the third one?
Current location. Engine chamber. Rear aft of ship.
Oh dear.
After you,
Right.
this is your ship.
Alright, well, I'll take the head then. And immediately is going to start heading in that direction.
It is most unwise to be rude to host. And it's an abject failure of morals to be rude to an ally. So,
Hakka will follow you.
For my information, given how the ship works, where would be the best way to get to that area of the tardigrade?
It is straight back. There's a
Just
there's
straight back?
a
Okay,
door.
great. It's
There's
not
this
anywhere else.
this door right here. It's like a big hatch door, like with the kind of like wheel seal kind of deal.
And is there a specific lock to it? Do I need to insert a code or a key, or do I need to
I mean, it has that big wheel seal, and as you put your hands on it and try to turn it, it does not immediately turn.
Appears we're logged out.
Can you ask Tom to open up the door?
That's a great question. Hey, Tom, can you open up the door?
Manual operations necessary. Current operators, Marine, and Duo.
Did you just say duo?
Have you heard of this duo?
Great question. Hey, Leah.
Roll me. This is like straight memory. So intelligence check.
Sure. If Roll20 will load. Sure. Give it a second.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
Straight intelligence. And... boom.
Ooh, 17. Okay, so quite a few times, Marine has mentioned a duo aboard the ship, and you always thought she was referring to you and Xoruk.
Streaky little bugger. Okay, so apparently duo is a name. I feel rather daft right now. All right. There's this moment, Hakka, of like face pales, going through the stages of grief and embarrassment all at once. Before Vex claps their hands together and goes, right, so there's apparently definitely another person on board. And it is not myself or Xoruk, and it's
You
not
appear to be
Marine.
in distress. Can I help you with that?
I'm fine, thank you, Tom.
Let me try something.
And Hakka will just kind of lean towards the door and just knock on it.
With your massive perception, you hear a oh, and then and then nothing.
Hello? I know you're in there.
What did they say?
There's no one here.
I didn't realize your name was No One. Fascinating, nice to meet you, No One.
I thought their name was Duo.
Shh. Hey, No One, would you let us in, please?
Are you with the cops?
It looks to Hakka. What's it called?
I have no idea.
I've never heard of one.
A long pause. You the current passengers?
Yes.
What do you need?
We just wanted to see what was that giant thump that we heard earlier. I assume you would know something about that, maybe?
Drop the box.
Do you need help moving
No.
boxes? Are you injured?
No.
Do you need food?
No.
Hakka just blinks and then looks to Vex like, what the fuck are we doing?
Hey, where's Marine?
Marine is currently unavailable. They are currently on the other ship, shall we say, taking care of some business.
You are aboard another vessel, the KSS Homewrecker. It's a friendly boarding.
There's an even longer pause. What What do you want?
I suppose we're curious why you're here.
I'm gonna have both of you roll me either charisma or charisma, persuasion, or intimidation if you're just trying to like scare him out.
I don't know about Hakka, but Vex is not trying to be intimidating.
No. Because I don't... Honestly, the voice is very disarming to Hakka, so
Yeah.
he's not trying to intimidate this person, so... Oh, that's a 4 on persuasion. Oof. Okay, that's much better. That's much better.
I recognize one of you!
That would probably be me.
Yeah, I am. I've never been on your ship before. So, I'm a guest.
Okay, you step like 20 feet back!
Very well.
Hakka will step back.
What do you want? Seemingly addressing Vex now.
Like we said earlier, we're really just trying to figure out what happened with the, there was a thump apparently, and we just wanted to make sure that there was no one aboard who shouldn't be aboard. For some additional context, we have been fighting, some other unsightly folks and some very aggressive, shall we say, opponents, and with the natural course of things, it just makes sense to do a thorough check to make sure that no one is where they shouldn't be, and that everyone who should be here is here and accounted for.
I'm the engineer of the ship, okay? We cool?
Is your name Duo?
It's not a name!
Then what is it?
It's a designation!
That's gonna get like a full expression change from Vex. And like a slow head turn towards Hakka.
Hakka like just shrugs, like has no idea how to like Hakka can't muscle his way through this or bite his way through this, so he's very perplexed.
Understood.
Oh, and then there's also a bit where Hakka begins rifling through his bag and and he begins to pull out a portable ram, like yes, no, like gauging your reaction.
Does the gesture of like the rapid like head shake no, and then
okay, putting the port
crossing to give you a no.
Silently just ports the portable ram back.
And the last thing Vex will say is, well, I appreciate you informing us of your existence and providing us with additional information. Is there a name that I can call you by that's not just nobody?
Y'all think about it!
Okay, I'll think about it. Nice to meet you. My name is Vex.
Damn it!
What?
I don't want that to be my name! I
Well,
haven't thought of one yet, okay?
okay, we'll give it time. Until then, you're going to be nobody, and then when you decide to give me a name, I shall change your name then. How does that sound?
You want to give me a name?
I can. Would you like one?
Roll another persuasion check with advantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Just
coming.
gotta think about it.
Oh, it's coming.
Just gotta think about it every time.
Every time. Alrighty, and with advantage. Habushki.
Ooh.
That's a 21.
Leah?
With a 21, there's a kind of fittingly long pause before you hear a kind of like clunk, 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 clunk sound, as it sounds like something's getting a little bit closer. And the kind of door just kind of there's the like circle kind of the like circle handle kind of goes, and the door kind of opens up, and you see this kind of inverse triangle like thing. It has a bunch of arms and hands kind of going off of it. It has one big eye on one side, and a mouth kind of right below it, and two sides are kind of facing you. And it just kind of looks around, and then as it turns to like kind of gestures you in, it turns, and you notice the side that is kind of it was facing away, what would be its back, seems to have been like smudged off almost. There's no eye, there's no mouth there.
Interesting.
But it visually looks very similar to this. This is official comment. It's nothing special, it's just...
Oh, look at that!
It's a little guy.
Look, two guys put together.
Yeah. But the one side, so for clarification, it would be like if one of those sides was missing its face.
So there are 3 sides total.
Oh.
2 of it faces you with 2, and one mouth talks at the same it doesn't talk with both mouths at the same time. It'll talk with one mouth or the other, but it has the same voice either way. The back is gone. Like the third side, the side that's not facing you, that is like gone. There's nothing on that side.
Can I see this creature?
Yeah. No, you kind of see it, and they kind of
Would Hakka know what this is?
You could roll me an Arcana with advantage.
Okay. 18.
You know what these creatures are. They're called Modrons. They are the kind of...
I'm gonna say that...
they're low-tier servants in... not like servants, but they're low-tier astral beings in the plane of mechanism.
Yeah, out of context this is gonna be weird, but because of the Ooblex, I think, like, there would be a memory that, like, it's not Hakka's that, like, mentions Modrons, and that's how he knows.
No, it's Kazador is the reason why you have advantage.
Oh, shit, you are so right. You are so right. Yeah, Kazador's probably dealt with these guys, so... And you know what? Hakka's gonna, like hit his head gently, just like, oh, of course. It's a Modron.
Do I, now that it's been said, know what a Modron is?
Your experience in the plains would at least recognize this as a denizen of one of the mechanized planes.
Okay.
Specific knowledge would come with either Arcana, religion, history checks, getting you different things.
I'm gonna try. But I, regardless of the roll, am not expecting a terrible amount. So we're gonna do this for posterity's sake, but I'm not gonna be disappointed in any direction. You said, did you say Arcana, history, or religion?
Yep. And they would net you different things.
So, because I'm proficient in it, I'm gonna go ahead and go with history.
20.
Your experience with history, it is in that, like, you have interacted with multiple different groups of mechanists within Sigil and your adventures in the Outer Planes. They are generally very lawful entities in the sense that they generally abide by a sort of very rigid structure which is set by their home plane. they believe that there is this sort of like there's a strong sort of like allyship among things from that plane, as they share some sort of like universal mentality behind the like inner workings of the universe. That specifics you don't really know, but generally there is you know what that kind of thing is, and I'll leave that knowledge to you.
Okay.
So, Vex starts to look over this little Modron. Let's see here. You want a name? Let me ask you this. Would you like something more, shall we say, short, sweet, to the point? Or would you like something a bit more sophisticated?
What do you got?
Well, first and foremost, the first thing that comes to mind now seeing you is Obby.
Huh?
Very short, sweet, to the point, befitting of someone who is very shaped. But I can come up with others if that doesn't fit you. If you don't like it.
Because they're not holding weapons, they just kind of they have empty hands, but they point down the hallway towards Hakka. What do you got?
I'm bringing up a lizard folk name generator.
Looking at you. Normally, lizard folk names inspire fear and terror. How about Thrash?
That's a fucking name.
Thrash the Modron.
The alternative.
Now you can drop the second part. Just call me Thrash. They kind of do like the strongman pose, but it's literally just like metal bars. There's no like flexing.
Very well. Thrash. Do you need any help back there, or?
No, I just and he like shows you the like foot where like there is like a dent in it. I just dropped something on my foot.
I know
I'll buff
mending.
it out. Don't worry about. No, I got it. I'll buff it out. This is my job.
Very well.
I appreciate you though.
No problem.
Y'all are cool.
Hakka being like a dad and like
Oh.
But if you rat me out, I'll stab you in your sleep.
Oh.
And that's okay. Yep, and that is entirely why the name Thrasher is appropriate.
Immediately taking to the name Thrash.
Yep.
I would like to see you try.
I would not.
Kind of looks you up and down and gives you kind of like a almost like a nod of respect with that one. And as you guys continue your interactions with Thrash, I would like to check in with Zoro.
Is that actually going to be his name now from now on?
Yes, yeah, that's straight
boy.
up. I've written that down. His name is Thrash.
Good job, Thero. You did it, Thero.
I named an NPC. Woohoo.
Xoruk, your meditations are like what? For those unfamiliar with them, from the outside and from the inside.
From the outside, he is staying as still as he can. Kind of flickers of frustration, intertwined with occasional moments of peace and calm, kind of twitching on his face, but his eyes are closed. And internally, he is meditating on the battle that had just happened, but also the potential motivations of this Githyanki captain who has put us on our current course of action, trying to anticipate what they could do next and their exact reasonings or how they knew Kazador and Hakka. So just kind of meditating, asking questions, trying to piece it together like a puzzle.
roll me flat. Mental check of your choice.
Okay. Are we stupid in everything? I think so. So it does not matter which one.
I think you have a pretty good wisdom.
He's got a good wisdom, but no skills related to.
Oh no, yeah, no. I mean, it's not a skill related.
Oh, I guess it'd be insight.
Just,
that makes sense.
Just a flat like wisdom check.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's more what I meant. Yeah.
Hey, 17.
17. 16, 17, I would have taken the higher on it. You begin your meditation, seeking questions, seeking answers, and you are familiar with how the astral sea works. And while it is not limbo, while it is not sigil or the outlands or the gate towns, thought does still have significance out here. Thought can lead you to things. You don't experience like visions, but it is memories that kind of yours that kind of flash, things you've seen before that maybe part of you subconsciously might recognize as relevant now versus wasn't then. You see the like various ships you've traveled on with various individuals. You see the like individual you have had very fond relations with many times, and have a very close past with. You think about your journeys that's kind of led you here, and for some reason, something that keeps flashing to your mind is the face of an individual that has kind of haunted you for some time. You've gotten revenge for many of the things that have been done to you, but Meloraz has never gotten the comeuppance that some of your other enemies have, perhaps out of just avoiding them. But I would like you to describe the face that flashes in your mind during this meditation.
Meloraz is a fiendish Cambion of what at first looks very plain in face. They kind of have an ambiguous, androgynous kind of visage about them, but they always have this strange, almost devious plots behind their glowing yellow eyes. Their red skin and horns kind of peeks up, as though they're attentive yet nonchalant about their current place of being. This person who tricked Xoruk so easily, so many times, kind of makes Xoruk lose control of his meditative state for a brief moment before he kind of brings it back to a sense of anchored again.
And as you anchor once more, you're once again led to visions of other past individuals that you have. And another individual that keeps kind of flashing to your mind, as I've described them a couple times, though vaguely. I believe it's Dorithni. I'd like you to describe them for us as well.
Dorithni is a Githyanki pirate, quite brazen, remarkably masculine and fabulous, and he's certain he knows it. Xoruk is certain he knows it, and kind of shows off his prowess aboard his spell-jamming ship. The two have had many adventures together, going to bizarre places and beautiful places, but they've also had a number of unpleasant conversations, despite their many nights of revelry and love together.
What is their ship like?
Their ship is more a traditional Githyanki pirate ship, a mixture of strange wooden planks and unknown organic material. It was very similar to a traditional pirate ship, as you might see.
Yeah, and visually. And you have a flash of that vessel rested in a location you know very well, as it is one of the most popular resting points for Gith pirates. A group of individuals more whispered about than known in many circles. They have kept to the fringes of society for many, many generations, even in the outer planes, raiding only vessels that truly travel outside the traditional locations and pathways between the outer planes, preying and surviving as they would deep within the Astral Sea. And deep within the Astral Sea is the remains of a dead god, a skull hanging empty with pieces of the corpse just floating in this endless nothingness. There are constructed man-made spires that jut out of holes, and it's unclear whether or not these were made after or if these were spikes driven into the god's head during a long-lost battle. And various ships have docked themselves. The closest thing to a safe haven the Gith pirates have ever known. And I will show you my very quick drawing of the Nosis cluster. If it'll load.
Whoa. Whoa. Holy.
This is sick.
Yeah, this rules.
It gently floats within the deep recesses of the Astral Sea. And having been here before, it flashes in your mind maybe a memory of seeing that vessel dock. And you return to your mind. As what I have just described, Kazador, you roll me a knowledge check, a arcana check, to see what you would know of the Nosis cluster.
Natural 20.
Everything I said, you know. In addition, you can tell me where you have learned this, but the Nosis cluster is a not famous, but almost a place of legendary rapport, whispered about, talked about, not truly known if it even really exists. It's only really said that, it's said that the only people who know to get there are the only people who've seen it are the people who know how to get there. And so it is, outside of those circles, really not well known. But you somehow know about it. Tell me how.
There is a devil that Kazador knows the true name of that would probably be very knowledgeable about this stuff.
Absolutely, yes.
And so that's probably where he picked it up from.
Who has reported to you many deals between an individual who has frequented the Nosis cluster and a devil within the Hells. And this devil that you know, once acting as a tertiary party in a deal between the two of them, was one of the rare few who have visited there and had intimate knowledge. They could not tell you where it was, but they did tell you what that they had been there, and you believed this to be true. The fact that Marine knows a fixed point, like jump there, is telling. What exactly it's telling, I leave up to you. So yeah, you might want to gather your crew, but those are your options. She points at your watch. I don't think that's a good idea, but so yeah, Phlogiston to the Nine Hells. I can jump us to the cluster. We will definitely find information there. Something's going on within the Gith circles. They'll know there. Or we make our way through the long sail to Sigil. But Sigil's pretty far away, so we'd be that's a trek. We'd be sailing. Definitely get your sea legs.
If that's the case, we should convene with the rest of the crew and get their thoughts on all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's. She kind of is looking around the ship, almost like amazed. Wow, this thing is. Kind of furrows her brow a little bit. Huh. When we get done with this, I want to look around your ship a little bit. I'm gonna ask Xoruk, but after this is more important.
Very well.
She's gonna move up and gather the crew. And I'm actually gonna call a little bit early bio break real quick.
Bio break.
Now that we have a bio break, Connor, what's your favorite celebrity?
My favorite celebrity. Gotta be Luigi Mangione.
I'm trying to get YouTube to put random celebrities in our mentions for videos. And
No!
I'm not sure how we're doing on this one.
Fantastic.
That's wild.
I'm so proud of you.
You know who I would rather have in mind? Kyle Gass. That dude's pretty cool.
Hey, there
Yeah,
we go.
Kyle Gass, pretty base. I hope, man. I really,
yeah, Zed.
man, I hope we're not on an FBI watch list now.
Oh, please.
I know.
That area of the government is defunct. Well,
How you doing, chat? How's it going?
Hello, chat.
gonna throw us onto BRB.
They can still hear us, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
How?
I threw something dinky in the.
I saw. His name isn't Thrasher. It's Thrash, but
Oh, my bad.
yeah, but I was just like, what's a lizard folk name? And I was just like, yeah, Thrash. That'll work.
Thrash
I'll
Banemaw.
know I had 3 other options ready.
Yeah. I just like we got a little Modron fella
Yeah.
who's apparently injured in some way.
Yeah. I want to know what's up with that.
Is he paid? Is he on the payroll?
I will be right back.
Go forth, Connor.
He is
Y'all have to
paid.
find out.
He is paid in exposure.
Oh man.
I love exposure.
Every time I
dollars.
do a thumbnail for Monty, I always ask for like, okay, that'll be 10,000 exposure points, please. All right, that'll be 1 million exposure coins, please.
You know what we should do?
Yeah.
We should make a cryptocurrency called exposure. That way, whenever hold on. I know cryptocurrency, but imagine every single time someone's like, "Oh, we'll pay you an exposure," then the artist goes, "Okay, I'm expecting a certain amount of exposure."
Yeah, send you an invoice.
You know what? You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Send them the invoice for exactly what they're worth, but in exposure. Not to be mistaken for exposure or exploitation.
No.
Also, I'm going to give Xan and Thero hero points. Xan for me throwing him that fucking that toss up and him slam dunking it as far as like descriptions and meditation goes. And Thero being for Thrash.
Got it. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of Hakka just like, what the fuck is going on? like there's gonna this campaign's gonna be rife with comedy of just Hakka just being in situations that he could not conceive of.
Fish out of water.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I think that's part of the reason why he and Vex get along so well, because Vex is in a very similar spot where they're like, I also don't know my guy.
Hakka said he's very worldly. This is very much outside his scope. He's out of his depth.
You could say he's outer space.
I used to work in bank fraud. Please no crypto. Wait, did you do the bank fraud or did you like stop the bank fraud? Like buttons in chat.
Also, I am entirely joking. I'm
Yeah.
No crypto.
No, I had to investigate it. That is cool as shit. Private investigator.
Oh boy.
No comment. Very cool. Yeah.
Well, I hope y'all are having a good time. I know it's a much slower session than the first two, but I think
No.
definitely a needed change of pace.
Yeah, we need to like kind of get our bearings and decide our next step, definitely. So
I love the red line high octane energy, but that has its time and place.
If you're high energy all the time, you start to get numb to it. It starts to become background noise. So
Yeah.
But no, I thank all of you because y'all are nailing the exact tone I'm going for in this. The silly is matter of fact, and I appreciate it. It's not
just like pulls out a portable battering ram out of bag of holding. Like, are we using this? It's like, no, we're not. Okay, puts it back. All right.
But
very well.
Still taking it very seriously. I appreciate y'all.
Of course.
Yeah.
Luigi Mangione.
Luigi Mangione.
Go ahead, YouTube. Say that we were talking about him. I dare you.
Do it, YouTube. I fucking dare you. That or Kyle Gass.
Kyle Gass. Yeah, I really want to I want Kyle Gass on the fucking thing.
What is the worst person we could mention?
Don't.
Oh,
Don't.
No.
George Lucas.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh no. Edward Bosco, Darky Ewan.
Mr. Beast.
God damn it! I know this take is like as cold as ice, but I fucking hate Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Cause first of all, there was like a new Love, Death, and Robots like season thing with like dinosaurs in a gladiatorial like arena thing, and they fucking animated Mr. Beast into it, and I'm just like, I don't wanna watch this, man.
Mr.
Mr. Beast is one of those kinds of people that makes me really wonder, like, how did we get here? Like, in a
There's
entirely
Miss
unsupervised 10-year-olds. I'm not joking.
Mr. Beast is a human being of Uncanny Valley.
Yes.
Like when I see his face, I'm like, are you real? Or are you AI generated?
I repeat, the rhetorical, how did we get here? How did this happen?
And this isn't bad, but just unsupervised 10-year-olds on the internet.
Yeah?
There's millions of them.
Oh, yeah.
And
they are surrounding.
They're identifying your location.
Like Tyranids, like they're coming from different parts of the galaxy. We could be surrounded.
And they're eating everything.
And they're eating everything. Like Tyranids. Just imagine like Tyranids eating a bunch of like soldiers of the Imperium, and somebody's captioning. Somebody captioned it with just like, "Oh, when they get the pizza out at Chuck E. Cheese's or something."
I'm gonna raise up this skibidi planet.
Oh no! We're gonna turn this planet into Ohio.
Oh God, don't do that.
God, if you're talking about Ohio, you didn't understand the plot of Elden Ring.
Frankie. Hi, Frankie.
It's one of my favorite jokes. It's just equating Elden Ring to Ohio. It's so wild.
I feel once I finish it, Leah, I feel like that joke in particular
is gonna hit.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I figured out how to
Limgrave?
remove
That's
invaders
Canton.
for the seamless.
I remember Rabbit explained to me like something about Ohio, that like doors show up randomly in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Like people will just set up doors.
Yes.
But we don't know if it's people. They're just there.
real
the
fake
clowns started in Ohio.
Thero,
Yeah.
there used to be a game that
Yeah.
I used to play with my friends when I lived in Appalachia, which was any time that we would travel through the mountain ranges, whether for 5-10 minutes or multiple hours to get wherever we needed to go, we would write down whoever was in the passenger seat or whoever was, able to take mental note of it if they were driving. Because, don't text and drive. I'm staring at you, chat. Don't do it. Would play this game of what do you find? And that is for the passengers and occasionally drivers, because sometimes you do see things. But definitely if you have a passenger in the seat, what do you see? What do you see in the woods? And we would come up with a list of everything that is out of the ordinary that shouldn't be there, that we would pass. And even on a 15 or 20 minute drive, you would at least have 5 things. I think the most we had in one go, which was for a 3-hour trip, was 25 things.
Jesus Christ.
Ohio, the most boring yet still interesting Eldritch Plane.
Dexel Ninja, I'm looking at you as a fellow Ohioan. Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it, buddy. I know that the woods can be tempting. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The woods are calling.
They do call. They do in fact call. Do not heed their call. There are things in them woods. They do in fact see you. They do in fact breathe.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm fine in suburbia.
back, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready to go whenever.
Yeah, let's
I just
do
didn't
it.
want to interrupt.
Hi, back. I'm Zan.
You know what? That's my new name now.
I assume we all meet outside the tardigrade.
Yes, I'm going to have us just move to the moment where, as we kind of not like smash cut, but like fade cut as we kind of come back after a commercial break. Beard sorcery.
Yeah,
Bones
I'm
coffee.
thinking Arby's.
Yeah, I'm thinking Arby's.
Arby's.
George
What
Lucas,
Oh yeah!
George Lucas, Jack Black, Chicken Jockey, Kyle Gass. But as we come back to our group, they kind of are reconvening back where we first found them at the beginning, as they have reassessed their situations and have come to various conclusions and gather to decide where their destination will be.
So our options are the 9 Hells, or we try sailing to Sigil itself.
Really quick question, Leah.
Mm-hmm.
Vex, during that, shall we say, discussion monologue and that the montage that we skipped.
It's literally just like everyone relaying the mostly Kazador and Marine like giving you all the options.
Connor, do the noise.
When discussing the options, Vex would have turned to Marine and asked about Duo.
His name is Thrash now.
You're kind of like, as they're kind of finished up, Hakka says that as like the first thing, so now would be your opportunity to ask.
Okay.
Because we'll say they're just finishing up. Like,
okay. I just wanted to figure out.
Absolutely. If you want to if you as a player want to take hold of a scene and just say, hey, I am asking the NPC this thing right now.
Do it.
If it's really interrupting, take a double check with the party, but that's on you, hon. I trust. We talked about it before the game. I trust everyone in this call.
So then are you all chill with that? Because that is something.
It is a very. Yeah.
Would want to ask about.
Go for it.
Do it.
So I did have a question on the topic of locations. So Duo is a location then, rather than a person-place thing?
Huh?
We spoke to the Modron aboard.
Fuck.
Mentioned his name was Thrash now. And Thrash mentioned that Duo is more of a location or a coordinate rather than a name.
Designation is the term that they use. Hakka, with your passive insight and passive perception, you see her very nervously glance at Kazador.
He just quirks a single brow at that.
It's a classification. It's a title they were given.
Where did you find this Modron to employ?
Sigil.
Insight check.
Why did you keep it a secret from them?
Points to Vex and Xoruk.
Roll an insight check for anyone who'd like to. And I will have everyone roll perception checks as well.
Okay.
Xoruk will choose to fail, as he's still kind of in his own mind.
Ooh, it's a 10 and a 19. I'll also turn off advantage for some reason.
So insight and perception?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
6 on insight, 19 on perception.
Ooh,
Natural 20 on the perception, 18 on insight.
God, Kazador is fire.
So on the 19s, get one thing from her, but not the other thing. Kazador with the 21, you do get the other thing. You see she becomes kind of not Not offensive, but definitely like a little bit nervous and wary all of a sudden. And she disguises it by putting one hand behind her head, but the other hand gently drifts down to her hip and flicks off the like holster strap to the handgun that she has. Like she has the hand hovering near it as like she's suddenly taken a very defensive position. She is being subtle about it because she's wanting to stay on the defensive, is what Kazador you get with the first part of the insight. Seeing this, Hakka, Vex, come to whatever conclusion you want to. She basically takes half a step backwards, puts one hand behind her head, and puts the other hand, and the other hand just kind of click. It's very subtle. It's not. It's definitely not like an active like going to draw on y'all sort of thing. It's just flicks off. With a 21, you also notice that one of her eyes doesn't quite match the other, and starts the like dead center of it, that would be the pupil, starts glowing red. And she just kind of takes a half a step back. Now, just be clear, everything's cool. We're all cool. What are you looking for with your insight? I would just really quickly, what are you looking for with your insight, Kazador?
I mean, her saying that she got the Modron on Mechanus is a clear lie.
She said Sigil.
Oh, Sigil, right.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, that's obviously a clear lie, but you look at her and she seems dead serious about the situation. You get it? After the hand goes behind the head, she holds it out and makes like a kind of like level hand gesture, like towards you all, like fucking Chris Pratt from, and there you go, Stan, Chris Pratt, Chris Pratt from Jurassic World, where he holds up the hand against the like she.
Oh, it's Thero's favorite movie.
Hold out the hand, like hold on.
Sorry, Thero.
It's okay.
Now walk through this one at a time, one question at a time. What do you want to know? We have to all be on the level here. Her eyes flick towards Kazador once more, which Kazador, you see her. She's definitely like. She keeps glancing at you.
Kazador, I trust your judgment on this. Modrons and Mechanicus and the like. That is your domain.
We are relatively new coming to this realm of the astral sea and dead floating gods. And already I have been pulled around the nose not once, but twice. I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain yourself.
Listen, I'm being a straight shooter with y'all. I'm just trying to keep
shooting
hold.
aboard my vessel.
No, it's a term. It's a term. I'm just trying to.
Said. And I see your hand.
She will actually, as you say that, she'll hold up both hands.
You don't think I couldn't just snatch that out of your holster with a flick of my wrist and my arcane power? Don't think there's a fight here.
There's a twitch to her, like a facial feature twitches, but she's trying very hard to hold a level like, sort of like level front. Again, I'll say, what do you want to know? One question at a time. I want to be straight with y'all, but I'm also trying to keep to arrangements I've previously made.
Let's start with those arrangements then.
She like licks her lips slowly, like she's trying to come up exactly with the words she how she wants to phrase it. I feel wrong telling you the details of someone else's business. But what I can tell you is that aboard my vessel, it is a safe haven from anyone who is seeking you. Okay? I offer those services to people.
So you're a smuggler.
That is a term that someone could use.
When Kazador says smuggler, Vex's facial expression will subtly turn a bit darker. Their brows furrow a bit. And while they do not address the comment outright, they do state, sometimes the best intentions aren't always the most lawful ones.
Let's just say that not everyone meets certain standards to certain groups. And the things that those groups sometimes do leads to certain things left on the periphery that, if you are careful enough, you can safeguard. Now, don't get me wrong, I've done my fair share of piracy. I'm not gonna, deny that. I know my background. If you looked into me, I have a track record, but I know what I'm doing now, okay? And she looks dead at you, Kazador. And if you mean to harm anyone aboard my vessel, you'll have to go through me first, regardless of your arcane power.
I happen to know a thing or two about being treated unfairly. These arrangements you've made, they're not going to jeopardize us?
Roll a persuasion check.
Here I go. 17.
My business is dangerous, and the people I work with are powerful, and the people who oppose them often even more so. Having me or my crew around is always a threat. If you want me out of here, I'll go. I was hired to do a job. Point gestures at Xoruk. Giving you the information you know you can get out of here. But if we are not on the same side, just let us go in peace, okay?
Well, it seems I'm not the only one with questions here.
I have a question.
I'll answer what I can. I might not hold to some sort of law or whatever, but I keep my word, and I will only tell you what I can.
Newly named Thrash. The creature was paranoid and injured. Did you have anything to do with that?
She kind of pauses. She almost chuckles. I would be lying if I said no, but not in the way that you think. And since everything is tense here, I'm going to explain what that means. We were in a battle. I was flying the ship as evasively as I could. I may have upset some of the equipment back there, and that may have caused them to be working on it. I know that they're not the most dexterous of individuals that you'll meet, but they're good at their job. She looks around at the nautiloid around you.
Hakka would kind of, just sensing that they're a bit scared, would back off a bit and just
I do think we are on the same side, and for what it's worth, we will probably need your guidance.
I have an offer, or I have a trade, I guess, I'll make to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you give us this hangar to hang out in, to hide out in, I'll offer you what information I know. I'll operate as a looks over at Kazador. I'll operate as a first mate of a kind. I know how to run a ship. You, as captain, probably need someone who knows how to do that, right?
Connor got up, but
and I'll say Kazador is kind of stroking chin and considering that. She looks over at Hakka, and I know for almost certainty that what did you call them?
Thrash.
That Thrash?
That is the name they chose.
Okay. That Thrash would be more than happy to operate as engineer aboard this vessel. But I'll let you think about it. Do you have any more questions for me?
No, just Where do we go from here?
Well, I already explained the 3 options, I guess, but to lay it out flat, sail our, big shelled ass straight through to the Outlands to Sigil. It'll take a bit because we're just going straight through Astral Sea.
How long?
Time's weird out here. What plane are you from?
Toril, I've been informed.
Roll me.
Oh boy.
2d6.
Oh boy.
Kind of shakes her head, does like a hand side to side gesture. I want to say 6 of your daily cycles.
Just shy of a week.
But just to be clear, that's what it would feel like. I don't know how much time would actually pass. It might be like a minute out. Or it might be, 10 years. It depends on what plane you're going to. Time's particular out here. I would stop thinking about time as a linear thing and just just think about like your time and what you're doing. Everywhere you go is going to keep track of it different, and everyone's going to disagree. My advice, at least. I don't.
Well, I'm no stranger to time ever marching forward.
So, what? She looks at Vex. You seemed concerned. Did I allay any concerns? You okay?
I'm gonna vote the 6 days travel, but yes, Vex, you've been a bit quiet.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's the sail straight there. There's the I was telling Kazador about it. But there's a location called we'll just call it the cluster for now, but it's called the Nosis cluster. It's a sort of hangout. Honestly, you'll never find a nest of thugs and treachery more full than that one. I'll tell you.
And then the other option is hell.
Yep.
I think we should avoid that place.
I do have a contact there, though, just in case we do go that route.
It's not like angry or like super suspicious, but Hakka does like turn his head and raise an eyebrow. Like, you have a contact.
They fucked me over and they owe me one now.
Well,
I know
my
there are
vote.
plenty
will
of
go
devils out there that wouldn't be too happy to see me.
Got it.
Hakka chuckles to himself, just like knowing what transpired.
He just sort of adjusts his hat.
So, Captain, what do you think? Me as your first mate, I'll show you how to run a ship. You let us hide out aboard here. Promise I will make up for whatever dangers the two of us would bring. Plus, you get an engineer out of the deal.
Kazador looks straight up towards the ceiling and he just lets out a breath. That breath sort of visible due to the chill of his just natural breath being a bit colder than most now. He turns and looks over at Hakka with like a raised eyebrow that says, "What do you think?"
Hakka nods along, like essentially he's pretty much in agreement with whatever you want.
Well, we didn't exactly come here with a plan. Moreover, we came here under duress. You helped us, we helped you. You seem like good folk. You've got secrets, but then again, everyone does.
She kind of nods her head at that one.
Yeah, Hakka too nods his head at that.
Until such time as our goals become misaligned, I see no reason to jettison you from our vessel. Moreover, we've been needing more crew.
Yeah, this place is empty. You know they run with like a minimum of like 20 thralls, right?
I was aware. We've seen more than a few nautiloids actually at this point, and they were manned by large crews.
Yeah. Speaking of Zoro, do you see this?
Zork's eyebrow is going to twitch as he's going to take a deep breath out. And kind of one of those, like, if somebody asks you if you're sleeping and you're like, well, not anymore. We'll exit his meditation.
She's staring at like this like shell structure that has grown out of the wall here that's like kind of acting as a wall. Or that as a like partition. And she's like leaning in close and she kind of gestures like with her hand, like two fingers over her shoulder, like towards.
He'll stand up, unfolding himself from his meditation. What exactly is he looking at?
She is just like staring at a partition, like a section of like chitinous growth.
Right, but she's
like
asking.
half wall. But yeah, she seems to just be like asking like, do you see this? And it's just like staring at a random section. However, with your familiarity with nautiloids, I'd like you to roll me insight, investigation, whatever check you feel would be appropriate for your knowledge and experience with these.
And she's like, is she giving like a telling sign of like just general curiosity, or is she trying to let else?
It looks perplexed. A mix of and she's not trying to hide it.
The general curiosity.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, it's like it's perplexed and maybe a little concerned.
And I guess...
almost like she's been like anxious to talk about it.
History? Zork has no idea.
You do have plenty of.
With a +0, I don't know.
But yeah, no. I mean, it is any check because it could be like insight or like your. But like, yeah, no. I history fair enough with a 4. She's gonna kind of you look close, but like your familiarity comes from attack, not from like inspecting. Kazador, however, I'd like you to roll me an Arcana or investigation, or I'd say Hakka. You could also roll me a nature check.
Habushki.
It's an 18 Arcana.
I'll spend a hero point.
Okay.
Habushki. Much better. 18.
18. So she seems to be inspecting the wall here, and she like puts her hand to it. She kind of presses on it a little bit. She kind of kicks it, actually. She looks over at you, Kazador. Where'd you find this?
It landed in Icewind Dale.
Just a quick correction. This is the one that just appeared.
Didn't it also appear in Icewind Dale?
No, it was attacking the one that you recall saw in Icewind Dale.
Oh.
Because remember, this is the one that you boarded and then took hostage, and they were like, "Ah, thank you. You can take that.
You can just have that, yeah."
Yeah, I guess I must have misremembered that.
No, this is the one you hijacked from now.
Yeah, I remember.
Tixdixl, yeah.
They just let us have it.
Yep. But no, they were still piloting the other one.
He does like air quotes with his fingers. Took it off the hands of this XanillisGrimm character.
Got it. So you didn't find it, you took it. Okay. That makes sense.
By right of conquest.
Kazador, with your Arcana check, you know that Nautilus are kind of like ancient Illithid tech. They are something that are like highly prized and very protected by Illithid. And the primary reason with an 18 and your experience with them is that supposedly they don't know how to make them anymore. They're a limited number.
Oh, shit.
However, Hakka, what she's gesturing at, she's kind of like rubbing and pushing at, with an 18 nature, looks like fresh growth.
Fresh growth?
As if it was grown recently. You know how a creature that has just molted has a very, very bright color scheme and then it kind of dulls out?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Perhaps misinterpreting and being slightly wrong about what's happening here.
Ugh, it seems our ship can regenerate new flesh.
Kind of looks over at you.
Is it possible?
Not for the shell. Shells have to be repaired or patched. For the flesh, yes, they just scars, but not as far as I know. I only know so much. There are going to be people in either. Well, I think this fully eliminates hell from our options, but the only two places I can think where there would be people who know more are Sigil or the Nosis cluster. Those are the only two.
This XanillisGrimm was a criminal, yes?
In the minds of most creatures in the multi, yes. Like most everything in the cosmos would consider a rampant mind flayer arcanist. Fun fact, there's a reason I was hired. I'd run across him before with another crew. Barely managed to get out of there.
XanillisGrimm was a predator, a hunter of conscious minds. No mere criminal. A monster.
Worse than most Illithid. He could cast it magic. He was an outcast from both us and Illithid societies, but
then tell me something.
I'm confused about.
Tell me something, first mate. What kind of beings would a creature like that associate with? I happen to be aware that nautiloids, like this one, aren't exactly in high production. In fact, I've even heard that they can't make them at all.
Exactly. And why would they give it to an arcanist?
This Ibik Nal must have been receiving information from another source. Perhaps the Illithids as a whole, but perhaps not.
Either way, the fact that you are on this ship has, this ship is, I've never seen anything like it.
He looks over to Hakka and just mutters under his breath, "It's kind of easy, too."
Oh, Captain, with respect, Nosis sector is a harbored place for Gith pirates. Not exactly a reputable place, to be sure, but they might have information there that could lead further upon this investigation if you want to pull on that thread. Sigil was also obviously another good place for us. But regardless, we're not going to get any answers as to why Bignol had this vessel or where it came from. At least not here.
No, we'll have to retrace his steps, but we can't do that here.
Unfortunately, I can't use speak with dead on a pile of ashes.
I have a question. Does a ship like a Nautilord, given the fact that the Illithid predominantly feast upon the mines, and we've turned to Hakka, come to understand that the ship itself feeds. Is it possible that the ship itself has a memory? Something that we might be able to learn from itself if we're looking for traces of steps. But then, of course, the ship itself might have a trace of said steps.
That's an interesting idea.
Kazador turns to Hakka and looks at his helmet.
Oh. Right.
Hakka will tap his helmet and kind of announce to everybody,
This is a helm of telepathy. Marine, where would the brain of...
and Hakka kind of shifts on his feet a little bit uncomfortable.
Where would the brain of the ship be?
Okay, just to be clear, what are you doing?
I wish to commune with this creature. Our ship.
Okay,
If this is a living thing and I can communicate telepathically with it.
I am not trained in psychic connection. You're gonna want to talk to the master over there. Gestures at Xoruk.
Oh, I'll fully admit I've never talked to a boat before, so this is amusing to say the least.
In the mind of Hakka, he'll hear,
I have, but I am no master.
and using the helm of telepathy, just like,
Well, I'm no master either, but I'm either brave or stupid enough to try.
I would like to step towards Hakka. And I'm going to carefully sort of like make a gesture of like, can I put my hand on you?
he kind of just looks at you quizzically, but he's gonna let it happen, whatever you're doing.
So I believe this will work. But Vex is going to place a gentle hand on your shoulder, and you're going to feel something very odd, like a weird sensation almost tingles up your spine. You even see a bit of a dark, like blackish purple haze surround their hand, as I'm going to cast Protection from Good and Evil on you, specifically to I can say the word.
Aberrations? Here's the thing
Aberrations.
about Protection from Good and Evil. It's all those things. You don't pick one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was one too, but it's all those things.
Yeah, then yeah, Protection.
It's a
Good
really
and
good spell. Thank you for that.
Just an additional precaution.
Well, if I could do it here,
Relic will, not Relic, Jesus, wrong character. Hakka.
No, if you're wanting to connect with its mind, follow me. She's going to bring you down into the main control area, which is like down a couple floors. And she's gonna like check all the rooms around. She checks a few rooms just so like she's getting a lay of the land. She's gonna point at this one and this one. Those are the two control nodes as far as I am to understand this ship. I'm still gonna have to learn it a little bit myself. You know, new to piloting a nautiloid or operating one. I guess not piloting, but gestures at those two. You try both. You can focus on one. Things I don't know how your brain works.
this is a bit above me as well, but I will try.
Hey, maybe the thing we learn is that we are not the ones to do this. She pats you on the shoulder.
Very well.
Hakka would bring his hands to his temples and like reach out to the ship. Helm of Telepathy.
Right. Helm of Telepathy, yes. You're casting anything in particular? Detect thoughts, I would assume.
Yes.
Yes. Check something. It doesn't have it. Okay. So surface thoughts are like beyond simple. It is simply at the moment it is basically like stay stationary.
Yeah.
Is the conscious thought. And you get a sense that a lot of the conscious thought is just the current operations of the ship. Like whatever is you are directing the ship to do.
Okay.
Beyond that, you're going to have to dig deeper.
Yeah.
And really quickly, as this is happening, what is everyone else doing? As Marine leads Hakka off, the three of you are left up in the hangar for a moment.
Kazador will turn to Vex. Am I wrong in sensing there's some connection to the things that she was saying earlier?
Let's just say I've personally had a run-in with some person who was the law by forces that were, as you say, the law. And if she is considered a smuggler, then by your logic, I am one of the smuggled. Law is not always right. And to act as though all law is right, I'm so sorry. You'll have to forgive me. I don't know if I can personally agree with that. And I do take issue with the mindset that these things are just black and white.
Well, that would be because they aren't. I don't claim to know you or your experiences, but if my comments came across with offense, I apologize. But I'm calling it like it is.
To that, Vex says nothing else, and will turn and walk elsewhere.
They'll turn towards Xoruk as well.
Xoruk will kind of look tentatively at Vex, but kind of understands Vex probably just needs a moment to think about things, and for the crew as it is to get used to each other.
May I ask you a question, Captain?
Of course.
What brought you and Hakka out here?
He chuckles visibly. He looks off into the distance. Whim.
Came out here on a whim.
If you can believe it. We've had our adventures. We've had our share of friends. Seen them come, go. Buried some. And we've discovered all sorts of amazing things. After a certain point, you've got your affairs in order, you have to wonder what's next. And we both decided that it was this. This was our next chapter in our journeys.
Well, I am sorry to, I suppose, be the ones to tell you this information, but you seem to have stumbled onto a bit of a ambitious plot. One that could bring harm to you and your friend.
I'm no stranger to being at the opposite end of vicious plots, Xoruk.
You don't strike me as someone who is inexperienced, of course. But as you said, you seem to be one person who likes to call things as they are. As do I.
Indeed.
So that being said, considering you are the captain, there's at least two choices to my eyes that we can move forward with understanding what the hell's happened here. Of exploring, or are you going to continue your whims?
Sorry, you're going to have to repeat that. My headphones reset. I've been having some trouble today with them.
Oh no! It's alright.
Xoruk videos.
Xoruk asks if you are interested in exploring what could have caused the situation that we're in, or if you're going to continue to simply explore your whims.
Well, I've tried for a long time to do right by people. Sometimes I succeed and sometimes I fail. This plot, whatever is happening out here, it seems to be affecting people in a way I don't like. And though it is none of my business, I do have some experience in quelling these plots. I'd say we're a pretty natural fit. You all have problems, and we know how to solve them.
If I could ask another question of you, Captain.
Go ahead.
Have you ever been to the Astral Sea before?
Not myself. But I've worked with people who have been. Granted, those people were flying on the seat of their pants on their way to Sigil.
Outside of the material planes, Captain, To believe something is not simply to think a thing might be true. To believe something, you must know it is true, and the power of your belief will help guide you. This is true of not only your convictions, but what you want. If you cannot define what you want, you will be led astray around every stray corner and every errant whim of the astral winds. I ask you what you want, not because I'm trying to test you, but because it is necessary in moving forward out here.
I suppose to that I would say, for right now at the very least, I want to help.
Help who?
You?
You'll kind of be disgruntled at that.
We have only just met. Why would you want to help us?
It's a whim. He smiles.
He's gonna blink a few times confusedly at that.
The material world, as I do not... I am not going to turn away your help, of course. I do appreciate it. I do not understand what this whims that seems to have you so captivated, but we must decide, or you must decide rather, Captain, whether we go to Sigil or Nosis. Either way would be a strong lead for us.
Well, the others have made fine points. Nosis seems like it might be a good place to get some real, down-to-earth information. And much more quickly than we would going to Sigil. Then again, flying into a place known for having Githyanki pirates and a nautiloid will definitely draw some attention.
Less than you'd think, but yes, it is not without danger. That being said, I have contacts in both places.
I've only contacts in one. Perhaps then it would be prudent to establish some contacts.
So long as you're helping me, I will make sure that those who would aid me in our endeavors will also aid you in yours.
It is appreciated, Xoruk.
He'll nod. The pleasure is all mine, Captain.
As the two of you conclude your conversation, I would like everyone involved in that scene to get a hero point, because that was some fucking tasty, delicious role play.
Yummers.
I'll just be over here talking to a boat.
Yep. Which, speaking to the boat, by the way, I would like you to roll me the boat's saving throw. At the moment, you are rolling +4.
Let's see. Oh, it succeeds.
It succeeds. As you attempt to, and I think you have charges, so I think you can attempt it more than once, correct?
Or
is it a once
telepathy?
a day?
Once either spell is cast from the helm, the spell can't be cast from it again until next on. Yeah, once a day.
So, and just to be clear, a failure here, or a success on its end, is not necessarily like you don't get anything, but you are going to get less than you would have gotten.
Yep.
So, as you reach your mind out, and connect to this thing, it is in some ways so much bigger than your mind. It seems to be able to encompass just such a larger scope of being than you have really experienced before. Its connection to time is different, and you almost feel what it's like to not register time for just a moment. That gives you this sort of, existential ennui. And as you kind of settle into how much it encompasses, the size and scope of what it travels both in space and in time, you also realize how small the mind, how focused and delicate, how the way that it's been constructed with the living structures within it form a symbiotic relationship with the creatures that operate. You get this sense of almost like trade that it feels, or shared warmth in winter, kind of how it feels towards the things within it. And in this expanse, you really can only make out colors. And the colors that you can kind of focus on right now, I'm going to have you roll me an intelligence saving.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you're talking to the fucking brain squid, buddy. That's intelligence.
Yep. Oh no, I'm spending a hero point on that.
Oh my god.
Yep, fair enough.
Yep. That was a nat 1 into, okay, much better,
Hey.
23, Jesus. God, nat 1, really good. Nat 1, really good. That's just been my rolls today.
With a 23, for a moment, everything flashes like red, like pain. Just from your brain is trying to do things that it physically cannot, and it flashes there's this red searing pain that goes through your head for just a moment before it desyncs a little. Your intelligence save allows you to kind of make out these vague colors. The colors you can make out in this moment are maroon, an opaque pink, a bright orange, electric blue, and a dull gray white. What do you focus on? You can focus on one. And write down those colors. Make sure you have those written down.
Yeah, so there was gray white, that was last. There was electric blue. What were the other two?
A bright fiery orange. There was a opaque, not opaque, a pale pink, and maroon.
Yeah, so the pale pink and maroon is one or two?
Are separate.
Okay, so I got pale pink, maroon, bright fire orange, electric blue, gray white.
Yeah, 5 total.
There's 5 player characters on this ship. Wait a minute. That would count me. No, that'd be stupid. You know what? Let's go with bright fire orange. Let's go with that.
Bright fiery orange. You feel heat and warmth, and then bordering on sweltering. Toxic clouds, smoke, choking air, acidic burning on the skin. You don't see anything, in this state. This thing doesn't register sight. So you only really have a vague sense of color, as it has a light sensor on it, and you have a vague sense of, and you have a sense of feel and touch on the outside. There is a reverberating sensation. Its version of hearing, as the shell shudders from a sound that indicates something heavy and metal clanging on the outside of it or nearby. There is sudden cold, and then you are thrust out of the mine.
Metal thing and cold. Huh. I'll look to Marine and just... It's complex in ways that I can't begin to describe. And its senses are alien to our own. But it sensed something long ago that was heavy and metal and then cold. Some sort of event that Ibiknal probably did to it. But, unfortunately, any memories of Ibiknal, nothing. At least nothing I could glean.
She's kind of looking at you a little bit not stunned, but curious, I think would be the term, and a little taken aback. Well, I honestly thought what you were doing was a fool's endeavor, so I'm glad you made it out.
It's a razor's edge to ride with being foolish or being brazen, I guess. The older I get, the more I realize I know nothing. But, let us congregate back to the others.
What's your role on the ship? Just out of curiosity, because you guys are kind of walking out.
Well, my role, I guess.
Or I guess, how do you know the hat guy?
Our nations sent us to Icewind Dale on a farce, more or less. I fully believe they expected us to die. Who sends a lizard folk? Who sends a soul all the way to Icewind Dale? But Kazador and I, we helped the people of that dale. And my role has always been a supportive one. With the ship, because it's living, I can heal it. And anybody else made out of flesh and bone. And Hakka would kind of do a little soft punch to the shoulder of just gauging their reaction.
She's and she's almost kind of gauging what you're doing, sort of trying to read you a little bit. Oh, okay. You're one of those really, really enthusiastically like moral types, right? Sorry, I don't mean to pigeonhole you. I'm just trying to figure out what your vibe is, like what your whole deal is.
You youths and your vibes.
Wait, how old is Marine?
I just picked up the term. I'm not that young. As the two of you kind of return to the group.
And continuing the conversation, just ending it here, just some would agree, and kind of looks to Kazador. Some would agree my vibe can be intense.
Picking that up, yeah. All right, Captain. Report from that one about weird brain stuff, but I have checked over the ship. Everything seems good in here. You've taken pretty good care of it.
To make a long story short, Kazador, this ship's senses are alien. It's above a lot of things I can comprehend.
Well, at least it's something.
I'll divulge more later, but where would you like to go?
We were discussing that, actually. It's seeming more and more like the Nosis cluster might actually be our best bet.
Very well.
Marine, she kind of like moves to start working on the ship, and then she kind of like, oh wait, shit, that's my job. I Captain, and she like rushes over towards the thing, not like sprints, but she kind of like it's like with a speedy walk, goes down, and she makes her way into the thing. She like stops and she looks at you. She turns and she looks at Xoruk, and then she looks at Kazador. For your safety, I will be entering this as a temporary coordinate.
That seems wise.
Very well.
We'll see how this goes and whether or not this becomes a permanent one for you. I will do my best to. No one here is going to rat me out as well, so I can use my contact here between Xoruk and I. We should be able to talk anything down. I wouldn't worry about. We wouldn't be the first Nautiloid showing up, but we'd be the most intact. All right.
Set a course for the Nosis cluster.
I will set the course. Destination lock, Captain.
That's the name of the episode.
What? What?
I know.
And before she leaves, it will be very quick to set. We leave at your leisure, Captain.
All hands prepare for travel. And Kazador will, assuming the coordinates are in place, begin moving the ship.
Alrighty. You make your way back down to the main control area. You connect your mind to it as you feel it expand, as you visualize the world around you. Your vision becomes very omnipresent around the ship, as you sense everything that you can, as you basically psychically fuse with the ship for a brief and as you begin to activate the teleport function on the ship, it and functionally I do have some there's like a small mechanic behind it, but it's once a day generally, but for the sake of just getting through this and or having it rather than just sitting here for 6 more hours or something like that. The planar jump drive, or the plane shift replicator on the ship begins to power up. You feel a thrumming of arcane energy throughout the shell. A portal begins to open up in front as the tentacles kind of pull through astral space. The entire ship enters, and you feel everything kind of slow and squeeze and go dark for a moment before you pull out. And you are once again adrift in the astral sea, though a very different section of it. All around you are brilliant colors. These almost like kind of like very nebula like that sort of spill out like paint and water that were dumped on a table, and they seem to almost be like drifting out of the various holes in the skull. That seems to be the origin of where these colors are drifting from, and it creates this miasma around the center. And in the center is this snapped off skull with the remains of the chest a little bit nearby and chunks and pieces floating around. These metal rods kind of protruding from it as the Nautiloid arrives in the Nosis cluster. One of the few safe hubs of the Gith pirates within the Astral Sea. It is... Oh, and I actually, because I thought this would be cool, I'm going to pull the little thing onto the map so we can show the ships here now.
Yay! There we are.
Alright, branch transformation, horizontal, boom. As the Nautiloid begins drifting towards the actual structure itself, it is not long before there is a flash of movement as two very small, very swift vessels come out of the eyes of the thing, one from each of them. You would immediately... where is everyone as the jump goes off, and where does everyone kind of settle as the plane shift is activated, and where would you all be? I know where Kazador is, but for Hakka, Vex, and Xoruk in that order.
What would be the funniest place for Hakka to be?
Up to you. I believe in you.
I'd like to imagine Hakka might be like trying to like analyze like one of the like engines or something, and as we go into like hyperdrive, like Hakka is like the speed of everything just like pushes him into a wall, and he's just like just squished.
Amazing. Vex?
Yeah.
Given my familiarity with the inside of Nautiloid, where would you say would probably be the most secure place, at least for like as you said, taking off and plane shifting?
The jumps themselves tend to just be sort of like they can lift you, and it depends on like where you're jumping from and where you're jumping to, as you are kind of affected from gravity in the place that you're in, and then in like it kind of alters and everything. So like depends on the angle. Like there's so many factors that go into it. For anyone who's experienced any sort of like larger plane shifting on a vessel, but for your experience, especially when traveling from one place to another, generally being seated, most Nautiloids tend to have some sort of like central not like quite gravity, but like attraction towards the base. There's a pull downwards. So when you are seated, you are more affected by it generally.
So
there are
I would say-
exceptions, of course.
yeah, for sure. I would say for takeoff specifically, that's probably where Vex would have been. But then after that initial jump, they probably honestly would have been wandering the different layers of the ship just to get familiar with it.
Yeah, as you would be wandering, and it's maybe like a couple minutes of like the ship drifting through space as you get up, and you're like beginning to wander the ship when the two vessels would begin swiftly approaching. Xoruk, where are you?
Xoruk is surprising no one going to meditate in the same spot he has been.
Hell yeah. As these two things approach, Xoruk, somewhat familiar to you, a mental message goes out to all creatures aboard the vessel. As everyone kind of hears in their head, all right, danger approaching. Who goes there?
Does Xoruk recognize the voice at all, or is this just a...
Xoruk, roll me, how familiar are you with, and this is up to you to decide, how familiar are you with Nosis Cluster?
I would say he's decently familiar, but I don't think he'd be on first main basis with most people there.
Yeah,
it's a bit chaotic of a place for him.
Yeah, there aren't really guards, so to speak. How the general way that it operates is that if there's a bigger group, if they're like, because the groups, the Gith pirates, they've split into countless various factions. They operate in like small fleets, generally. But if there's a like larger ship group there, or a like main ship of some kind, a flagship of some kind, generally they will have they're not like in charge of protecting the place, but there is an assumption that because they're the biggest thing there, they are protecting their interests by keeping a lookout for anything that would come in. Right. It's happened rarely, but it has happened on occasion where most commonly it's something like an astral dreadnought that approaches like just kind of wandered in or something like that. Astral dreadnoughts being the like catch-all term for pretty much any massive sea-dwelling creature that like astral sea-dwelling creature that preys off of just anything.
Right.
They're most commonly depicted in the sort of like lobster crab format, but like there's a huge variety. But so you assume that who are these folks approaching, they're probably from a specific crew, not like the locals, because there are locals. The locals tend to stay in the actual like skull itself permanently. They don't tend to leave.
Then at that point, Xoruk will just kind of take a mental note and keep silent. But just be listening in if we can all hear it.
I do have a question for you, Xoruk, before anything goes on more. How well standing is Dorothy?
I would say,
is it like a first mate? Is he a captain?
He's a captain of his own ship, but he's not. He's popular, but I think I think he thinks he's more popular than he actually is. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and single vessel captain doesn't have like not part of a larger fleet. Just
correct.
Sort of like lone operator sort of vibe. Yeah. So you would get a sense he's probably not Dorothy's people, and unless you're very familiar with a lot of the different pirate crews, you probably not.
Yeah, he'll keep quiet.
Yep. But all of you would hear that. Anyone who is currently mentally connected with the ship has telepathy active. So like you, Kazador, as you are hooked up to the ship and it doesn't have, it's not disabled now, you can actually telepathically connect with a creature.
We have
or
arrived
communicate.
at the Nosis cluster. All right, now how do I turn this thing off? No.
You pull on the green one.
The green one. There were like 3 green ones.
No, now you turned on the sprinklers. Oh, 1 second.
Sprinklers on the ship out of nowhere.
Like,
At least the front windshield will be clean.
did Vex and Xoruk find a dad and a grandpa traveling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Hakka a literal grandpa?
Gishath hasn't had a baby yet.
Not quite a
so-
grandfather
okay.
yet,
Not-
but he is definitely of grandfather generation.
Yeah.
Tell them we're coming in peace. Like, for all they know, we're a nautiloid out of deep space.
I will broadcast to the other ships. Or to the relevant parties, I should say.
Yeah. And it would be
It
would be just like kind of generally telepathically communicating out. You can communicate to like a specific creature like individually, or just send a like general like kind of AOE, kind of like radio.
General signal. Then we'll just go out to all the other ships. This is Captain Kazador Rain of the KSS Homewrecker. We come in peace.
There's a pause as like you see as you're kind of like you can kind of visualize the outside as the two like smaller vessels kind of do a circle on you a little bit. They escort you for like maybe 30 seconds and then they split off. And nothing seems to bother you after that. You do actually notice, though, that as you settle in, really quickly, I have to do something really quickly.
Really quickly?
Not really quickly.
Will we?
Will we? Alright, I'm going to...
Smithing very fast, incredibly quickly.
It just the... Wait,
That's how our
can't I
warp
do that?
engines work. 2 tiny Andres smithing very fast.
Oh, well, I thought I could group things, but it's not letting me group things.
Damn.
So I was gonna like group one of those ships and actually move it, but they're just a bunch of small ones, so I can't do that easily. Might do that for next time. But one of the ships actually moves behind you to make it not like oh yeah we're attacking, but definitely settling in behind you. So in case you tried to make a hasty escape, it would be a little bit more difficult, and they would have a very easy time pursuing. Xoruk, that's fairly common for new vessels. You would honestly, to the point where you would assume it would be happening, even if like you can't physically see.
Sure.
But-
Xoruk will reach out through his telekinetic connection.
They're likely going to investigate our ship. Be ready.
We have nothing to hide, I think.
There's a pause as eventually you would see another one of those like smaller vessels, but this one's actually like almost like a small rowboat, and there are like 3 figures on it, and they kind of dock onto your dock. And they will actually kind of like not quite, but right before they dock, they will actually lead you like a shipmaster to one of these like spires and show you how to dock and where to dock on it. As you kind of settle, the dock settling next to a metal platform that's kind of carved out and like jutting out of one of these spires, this smaller vessel like docks onto your main deck. Two of the figures don't actually leave the small boat. One of them seems to be like sitting in the boat and is just kind of like leaning back, and it has like a toothpick, and they're just kind of picking. And one of them, it has like the two. It has what they're holding, what looks like two oars, but like they're not actually connected to the oars that are on the outside of the rowboat. They're straight upward, and they're kind of like facing the front. It's very odd, but you do see as they are kind of moving, they're kind of like moving them back and as the and they're kind of like moving one in one direction. It seems to like there's some sort of like control system with as a lot of older astral vessels have oar systems on them, which I think is a very cool little note from older Spelljammer. And the one that gets off is not like muscular, but definitely still athletic looking, probably Gith pirate, but has very Gith Yankee features. Very, very bright, yellow skin, and a very, very busted up face. They're not quite missing an eye, but there is a scar that goes kind of partway into the eye, and it's like half closed from the scar. And they're like kind of peeking out of it a little bit. And they begin to walk onto the deck. As everyone docks, where is everyone kind of meeting? Aboard the main deck, or where would everyone be?
Wherever the people are initially coming in, Hakka would meet them there.
Alrighty. I'm going to move us here. And so that would be down here on the red decks. At the bottom, 7 and 6. The person would like walk onto 7, and that's like kind of where they would like they would like, you know, take a sort of cursory glance around at the I'm gonna put this little down. As they kind of like walk around, take a cursory glance at the Artcaster, kind of nod, look around. They kind of look across you. Okay, they almost do like just a little bit of a head count. They reach down to their side where there's a something that seems to be covered in a like cloth, and they hold it up, and as they pull it out, there is kind of suspended in a brackish liquid in a clear ampule, which is a enclosed glass vessel, like cannot be opened unless you shatter it. There is what looks like a strange, oddly shaped tube, tadpole-looking thing that kind of is like flailing a little bit, and it has these like strands of string that are kind of like attaching it to these like little metal bits that are embedded in some of the glass. It's a very, very intricate looking contraption with this thing on. Kind of hold it up towards all of you. Just kind of nod, cover it up. They like begin to step off. Look back towards the group of you. What? Are y'all expecting like a welcome party?
Frankly, I don't know what to expect.
Gonna glance across the group of you. It's almost as if for the first time they're noticing that like not one of the three of you that are on the deck, and it has stop meditating, or is Xoruk still meditating?
Xoruk would have stopped meditating and is there to try and assist where he can.
Yeah. And would notice that almost no one in the group is, as Marina hasn't made her way out quite yet, is of any sort of gift persuasion. So they kind of look across you. How did you all find this place? And then looks at Zoro. We're gonna see. Guess you. You look kind of familiar. Well, but I suppose, and they gesture towards the platform leading into this sort of spiral staircase heading downward. Well, welcome to the stem. And they walk onto the ship. They walk onto the little rowboat and take off, as seemingly no issue with y'all arriving here.
They're
yeah, go ahead.
they are Yankee themselves.
They seem to be either Gith Pirate or Gith Yankee. Hard to tell sometimes between them.
Apologies. We come bearing a number of Istics who need information, myself included.
As they've kind of gotten onto the rowboat again, and it's they're beginning to take off as you say that, and they kind of look over towards you, and they actually look towards the person who's sitting in the boat and just kind of with it, who sits up. Another gift. This one with dark, green, almost deep forest green. With these sort of yellowish not kind of mossy yellowish breaks and spots as they kind of look across. Well, what can I do for you then? They are lithe, lanky, but definitely practiced. Taut muscle, and they have their hair kind of pulled back in a really, really tight sort of braided bun.
They're addressing me or just the group?
She looked at you, but she kind of looks across the group as well.
I am Xoruk of Shra'kt'lor, the grave of Gake, and I present to you Captain Kazador of the Homewrecker.
A pleasure.
Aye. Seems you've made your way here.
We approach as Rastil. We do not mean to make any foes here. I am curious if I could seek out information. I'm looking for someone in particular.
Kind of looks across the group of you. Ask and I'll decide what nation's worth.
Do you know if Dorithny is docked aboard here?
I'll give you that. It's fine. And it smiles, almost disappointed. Kind of has a wry smile. Dorithny docked, half a day ago. Don't know if they're still here. I haven't seen them leave, though. Haven't seen their ship leave, though.
They docked at the usual spot, then?
Aye. You familiar with them?
Perhaps a little too much.
Kind of smiles. Well, if you do say that, tell them that Captain Joff wants to have a talk.
He'll nod. And it's my question, Captain.
Looks towards Kazador.
Was that name Captain Jorth or Joath?
Joarth. J-O''Arth. Joarth. Gift names.
Yep.
Alright, just making sure I've got my notes all squared away.
Gestures towards the spiral staircase heading into heading down the spire in the building. I'm sure you'll find someone else much more helpful. Hi, and looks at you again once more, Xoruk. I have some business to get to. You'll stay safe now. And their ship begins to paddle away. And I will say, as the group descends into the spire, the scribe, as you kind of exit this, and it is just like a long metal tube with these various stops at it. It seems like whatever this metal thing that has been embedded in the skull of this dead god has been hollowed out at some point and turned into a spiral staircase, as there are these various stops for ships to park at. And as you come out into the skull proper onto a platform that's been built across the center of what was once this thing's brain, various multicolored crystals seem to operate, or seem to have once grown, are growing out of the side, and there are various buildings that are kind of made out of them, some that are made out of other material, as you enter the expanse that is the Nosis cluster. And that's where we're going to pick.
Oh, Space Pirate Haven, our first major stop here on this adventure.
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
I appreciate y'all bearing with me as I was, as you know, kind of needed to figure out where y'all wanted to go.
Yeah, no problem.
There was a lot of good role play today.
Yeah, very good role play.
This was an awesome session. Well, thank you all so much for stopping by and for watching. Yeah, this has been an absolute banger of a session. Lots of great role play, lots of figuring out the stuff going on in the Astral Sea and whatnot, and our adventures will pick up next time at the Nosis cluster.
Lots of little threads being laid now. I appreciate all of my lovely players.
Yeah, thanks for
We appreciate you.
We're on for next week, right?
That should be weekly from
That's
now.
the
I'm gonna cancel last minute.
No!
Cool.
Don't do that, please.
Just to hurt Thero.
No.
You hurt me enough.
You've hurt me enough.
I don't like how serious your tone got there.
Just accompanied with the racking of a shell.
It's put away right now.
Oh no. Well, either way, thank you all so much for stopping by. This has been fantastic, and we couldn't have done it without our lovely affiliates, including Beard Sorcery.
Yes.
Use code DistortionDevil to save 10% as well. Code DistortionDevil when you buy some coffee from Bones Coffee Company. If you want to get yourself some delicious coffee. And of course, we couldn't do this week in, week out without bits and subs from viewers like you.
Bits and subs. Subs and bits.
We got 5 subs from Tixdixl.
I know that person. They're lovely.
I think I know that.
Hey, they're pretty cool.
Saris, you haven't talked in a while. Is your mic working?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeesh.
It's been a little bit. I was worried.
It's all good.
And as well, we've got Ruinous Paths D&D. Thank you for the raid of the party of 10.
Oh. Nice of them.
Ruinous Paths D&D, thank you so much. Hope you had some fantastic times on your adventures as well, if that's what you're doing. But for now, I'm going to end this stream, and I'm going to very quickly get it started with another one after I take a brief intermission. We booting up some Guilty as Sock. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yes, thank you for sticking with us and for listening to this fantastic adventure. And I will see you in a little bit. But for now, take care, everybody, and rest well.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.